I'm going to tell you what you need to know about functions. I'm not going to tell you everything you need to know about functions or everything you'll ever learn about functions, but I'm going to teach you enough about functions that it won't trip you up on the test. Functions is a fancy way of saying a graph of an equation. Okay, so that's what a function is. A function is a graph of an equation. And they like to use different letters to trip you up. So they will say f of x, g of x, something of something. Those mean y. Replace them with y, it will make your life less scary. So what they often will do is they'll have something like h of x equals 2x plus 3. This is an equation. We can graph this. If we change that and say y equals 2x plus 3, I can now stick into an xy chart some numbers, and I could graph that. Now, and I could say whatever x is, which is whatever I come up with x is, that then I know what the answer would be. So what they will do is they'll say h of x, or h of 4. What is it for h of 4? What did they replace with 4? They replaced x. So you're going to replace x. So where it says x, you're going to put 4. So you have 2 times 4 plus 3. 8 plus 3 is 11. So when h of x is 4, y is 11. So then you could plot that on a grid, 4 over, 11 up. So they just want to know that answer for that particular point. That's what a function is. What's the answer for this one point? So that's one thing you should know about functions. The other thing, this one is going to be the most helpful one for functions. You have a graph, a grid. A function is a left to right movement of a line. It can look like this. It can look like this. It can look like a wooden cross here, but it can look like that. So they don't cross each other because they wouldn't be on the same line, but each one is a separate function. What it cannot do is it cannot do that. That's a no-no. Not a function. Why is this not a function? There's something called a vertical line test. If you draw a vertical line, top to bottom, like that, and it crosses 2 points, it is not a function. So, a vertical line, let's make a baby one here. We have a vertical line, and we were doing measurements on this line. We have 1 dot here, 1 dot here, 1 dot here, 1 dot here. We went over 1, and we stayed 0. So we have 1, 0. We went over 1, we went up 1. So we have 1, 1. We went over 1, we went up 2. So we have 1, 2. We went over 1, we went up 3. So we have 1, 3. This is not a function because we are going through the same line repeatedly, going up and down. So we cannot have the same x values for it to be a function. So if you can remember that, cannot have same x values at all. They use that one a lot. They will give you a group of coordinates, and they will ask you which of these is not a function, or which of these is a function. So you have to know, if it is a function, that means all the x's are different. If it is not a function, that means the x's are the same. So if you can remember that little thing, and remember about the vertical line, and if you need to, draw one out and figure it out, oh, it's the x's that are the same, it will help you on your functions and know to change h of x and g of x to y, and whatever, if it says g of something, they replaced x with that number. That's what you need to know about functions. And that's, people get all freaked out about a function, and that's really the worst that they do to you. but they just use those G of X, Y of X, Z of X, and it freaks everybody out. So just in your mind, call it a Y. And you can make an XY chart and figure out the answer. So all they ask you is for that 1 point, is what they're asking you.